Welcome back to Inspiration Junction, the place where truth meets courage, and the stories others avoid are told boldly. We dig deep into the events the mainstream tries to brush under the rug, and we bring you facts, context, and perspective that matter. So if you're looking for sharp insight, fearless analysis, and a voice that doesn't flinch when power gets uncomfortable, you're in the right place. Make sure to subscribe, hit the notification bell, and stay with us until the end of today's video, because this one's going to stir some serious conversation. Today, we take you inside one of the most unexpected, chaotic, and frankly controversial moments in late-night television history. A moment that has sparked national headlines, divided public opinion, and raised real questions about political bias, media responsibility, and the boundaries of public discourse. This is the story of what really happened when Karoline Leavitt, the rising conservative firebrand and Trump campaign spokesperson, was kicked off from Jimmy Kimmel's show after a fiery and unscripted clash that sent shockwaves through both Hollywood and Washington. To understand just how explosive this moment was, you need to know a bit about the players involved. Karoline Leavitt is no stranger to heated political debate. At just 26 years old, she's one of the youngest and most unapologetically conservative voices in American politics today. A former assistant press secretary in the Trump White House, she's become a prominent figure in the MAGA movement and recently made headlines as a campaign spokesperson for Donald Trump's 2024 presidential run. Known for her sharp wit, quick tongue, and refusal to back down, she's become a favorite among conservative media outlets and grassroots supporters alike. On the other side, you have Jimmy Kimmel, longtime host of ABC's flagship late-night talk show, known for his mix of comedy, celebrity interviews, and political commentary. Over the years, Kimmel has become increasingly outspoken about his political views, often criticizing conservative figures and policies during his monologues. He's taken direct aim at Trump and his allies more times than most late-night hosts, and that's made him a beloved figure among liberal viewers, but a lightning rod for criticism from the right. So when it was announced that Karoline Leavitt would appear on Kimmel's show, eyebrows were raised immediately. It was seen as a bold move, one that could open the door to serious dialogue or devolve into pure spectacle. Behind the scenes, there were mixed feelings. Some producers reportedly hoped for a ratings boost, while others feared it could get ugly. Leavitt's team insisted she be treated fairly and allowed to speak her mind. Kimmel's camp remained tight-lipped, but rumors suggested they were preparing to challenge her positions forcefully. The taping began like any other episode, with Kimmel delivering his usual mix of political jokes and celebrity banter. The audience, as always, was lively, clapping, laughing, and soaking up the humor. But the tone began to shift the moment Karoline Leavitt was introduced. As she walked onto the stage, there was polite applause, but also a noticeable tension in the air. She wore a confident smile and greeted Kimmel with a handshake, but it didn't take long for things to get uncomfortable. The first few questions were surface level, standard late-night fare about her age, her role in politics, and her experience with the Trump campaign. But within minutes, the conversation veered into deeper territory. Kimmel questioned her about election integrity, the January 6th Capitol riot, and Trump's ongoing legal battles. Leavitt responded with the kind of precision and confidence her supporters have come to expect. She defended her positions clearly, criticized the media's portrayal of Trump, and pushed back on what she called misinformation. Then came the moment where everything changed. Kimmel, reading from his notes, referenced a quote Leavitt had made during a Fox News appearance about the deep state and media collusion. He challenged her directly, accusing her of spreading conspiracy theories and undermining public trust. Leavitt didn't flinch. She leaned forward, smiled, and fired back with a bold accusation of her own. She told Kimmel he was part of the problem, that late-night shows like his had become propaganda arms for the left, and that average Americans were tired of being mocked for their beliefs. The audience grew quiet. Kimmel smirked and tried to make a joke, but Leavitt pressed on. She cited examples of media bias, quoted polling data about declining trust in institutions, and even called out previous monologues where Kimmel had ridiculed Trump voters. It wasn't the usual back-and-forth banter of late-night TV. It was sharp, unscripted, and real. And that's when things began to spiral. According to multiple people in the studio that night, producers began signaling Kimmel to move on. The show's control room, realizing the segment was getting out of hand, began cutting Leavitt's microphone intermittently. Viewers at home would later describe hearing audio glitches and abrupt transitions. On set, Leavitt reportedly asked if her mic had been turned off. Kimmel, visibly flustered, accused her of trying to hijack the show. Leavitt shot back that she was only answering the questions he asked and refusing to be silenced. That's when the moment came. Kimmel looked to the side of the stage and gave a subtle cue. A producer walked on stage during the commercial break and informed Leavitt that her segment was being cut short. She was escorted off the stage. No handshake, no farewell. Just a cold, abrupt end to one of the most intense interviews in the show's history. But the drama didn't end there. Word spread quickly on social media. Within minutes of the taping ending, hashtags like Leavitt kicked off and Kimmel meltdown began trending on Twitter. Conservative commentators rushed to her defense, accusing the show of censorship and cowardice. Liberal voices praised Kimmel for standing up to what they called dangerous rhetoric. The divide was sharp and immediate. Later that night, Karoline Leavitt posted a video from her hotel room, explaining what happened in her own words. She said she was invited to speak, but the moment she challenged Kimmel's narrative, she was silenced. She called it a disgrace and vowed to keep speaking the truth no matter who tried to shut her down. The video racked up millions of views in hours. Kimmel, for his part, tried to downplay the situation during the next episode. He joked that not every guest is ready for prime time and some people confuse debate with disruption. But many viewers weren't laughing. Some called it the most revealing moment in the show's history, not because of the clash itself, but because of what it said about the state of dialogue in America today. Now the fallout continues. ABC has not officially commented on the incident, but insiders say discussions are happening behind closed doors about how to handle future politically charged interviews. Leavitt, meanwhile, has turned the incident into a rallying point for free speech. Her campaign has used clips from the appearance in online ads, framing her as a warrior against media censorship. This wasn't just a fiery interview gone wrong. It was a cultural flashpoint, a moment that revealed just how deep the divides run and how fragile the space for real dialogue has become. It raised serious questions about media control, political tolerance, and the future of public discourse in America. And it reminded everyone that when two powerful forces collide, one representing the new wave of conservative populism, the other the entrenched voice of liberal entertainment, fireworks are inevitable.